very exciting day because we are setting off on our trip to DC, and I'm so excited to take you along with us. We are going to Washington, DC for about a week because my husband Wesley was chosen for the Fort Carson 10-miler team, which if you've never heard of it before, it's a really cool race where every Army base sends a team of their 8 fastest runners to run a 10-mile race around DC, and it's just going to be a really special event, and it was so exciting that Wesley was chosen for the Fort Carson team. So we're gonna go and explore the city, enjoy all the festivities of this event, but also just enjoy like a fun vacation together, exploring a new place and staying in a fun hotel. So I'm really excited. We're about to set off to the airport and drop Bowie off at his little doggy camp that he's gonna stay at while we're gone. I think it will be a beautiful autumn trip in DC. I think the leaves are turning and it should be nice fall weather. I'm just wearing this cozy little grout fit from Abercrombie. I love this outfit so much. This is like my ultimate comfort outfit. So I'm just gonna wear this with some little ruffled white socks and my UGG slides that I love. So we're gonna be extra cozy. I of course had to make a little coffee for the road. Y'all know I couldn't go without my morning little latte that I make, and I used up my Anderson Farms pumpkin spice syrup that I love so much. So we're ready for the road. Let's go ahead and set off to the airport. I just got Bo this really cute little autumn collar. It has this little plaid maroon and cream. He looks so handsome. Getting back to the hotel pretty late last night, so we just got some room service and enjoyed resting in the hotel room and got a really good night of sleep. It was so nice to sleep in a comfy hotel bed. Now we are up and ready to explore the city. We have a very exciting day planned today. So our first stop this morning is of course going to be a cozy little coffee shop. I've been looking on maps and seeing some fun places in the area, so I feel like there's a lot of really great coffee shop options to choose from, so we'll have to spread them out over the next few days, but we'll see which one we choose this morning, probably one just right by the hotel. And then we're going to go to the expo for Wesley's race. So like I said, he's running the Army 10-miler race, and I think it's going to be really fun to go to the expo and see all the different teams and racers and kind of what they have going on there. So we're going to check that out so he can pick up his packet and just kind of get a feel for the race. Then in the afternoon we have our most exciting event, which I seriously am like on the edge of my seat, so excited for. We are going to the White House for a tour of the gardens and grounds, and I am so excited. I love learning about like the White House and history, and especially the First Ladies. I think that the history of First Ladies and their involvement in the White House and just different like sweet things that they get to do is really cool to learn about. So I feel like the gardens tour will have the First Ladies written all over it. So I'm so excited. I think that's going to be a really special thing that we get to do. But I thought I would show you what I'm wearing. I've shown you this dress before, but this is one of my favorite ever dresses from Abercrombie. I love their puff sleeve dresses. I think they just all fit so well and are so flattering, and this pattern is so fun. It has like grapes and oranges and little jasmine blooms on it. So I love this dress, and I just paired it with these little pearl sandals. These are just from Target, but they're kind of like a dupe on the Dolce Vita sandals. So I love these pearl sandals, and yeah, I feel very cute and ready for the day. I mostly dressed for our White House outing, so I feel a little bit nice and put together, but I feel like this dress is kind of inspired by the White House grounds tour, and I'm just so excited to get to go and explore and see the town. So I'll take you along with us and we'll see what we get up to. Hotel room for a second to regroup. We just came after being at the expo and we just wanted to like regroup for a second and rest, but now we're about to go out for some lunch and go for our afternoon activities. But before we go, I wanted to show you, I got this really cute sweatshirt at the expo for the Army 10 miler, and it says "Hooah, run Army, run strong." So like a true military spouse buying this. But that's a fun little sweatshirt that I got. And then now we're gonna go grab some lunch and then go to the White House, which is probably the thing I'm most excited for on this whole trip. So I was gonna show y'all, we have our little White House tickets. They dropped them off for us at the front desk when we got here yesterday, and it's just been so cool to have, but they're so pretty. And it says the White House Garden Tour, and then there's a little signature for Joe Biden and Jill Biden. So yeah, I'm really excited to go. We're gonna head that way soon and just explore around the waterfront, because our hotel, we're staying at the Wharf Hotel, and it's like right on the water. So we're gonna go look around at the waterfront, find a little restaurant to stop into, and then head to the White House. So I'm really excited. It's been a really fun day so far exploring, and we have lots of fun exploring ahead of us. House tour a little bit ago. We're back in the hotel and we've just been resting for a second. Actually, I've been resting. Wesley had to go to a little meeting with his team for the race tomorrow, which is so exciting. So he's been doing that and I've been kind of taking a moment to chill because I feel like we've been kind of on our feet and like exploring a lot this afternoon. So I'm feeling tired, but it was such a great day and I wanted to take a second and talk to you about the White House tour because seriously, that is going to go down as one of my favorite memories I've ever had. It was just so breathtaking, like way more than I even anticipated it being. So we did the White House Gardens and Grounds tour, which is different from the actual White House tour where you go inside the White House. And we learned that they do the White House Gardens and Grounds tour once in the spring and then again in the fall. So they do it one weekend around April and then another weekend around October. So only twice a year, and this happened to be the weekend that they do the White House Grounds tour instead of the inside of the White House tour. So that's why we did that instead of like going inside of the White House. But if you are ever in DC around the time of the White House Grounds tour, you have got to take the chance to do it. And honestly, the reason that I say it was so magical, one, it was just like truly breathtakingly beautiful, and I'm a person who loves like gardens and trees and flowers and birds so much. So like I think I particularly enjoyed getting to see that element of it. And also I think that the gardens are really centered around first ladies and end up being something that the first ladies really get to enjoy like participating in and kind of taking agency over. And it's sort of a way for each president and their spouse to commemorate their time at the White House in some way. So that was really sweet because like I said, I love learning about first ladies, and I think that that's a really cool part of our nation's history, is the way that these spouses have gotten to have their own impact in really specific and sweet ways. So it was really centered around a lot of them, and that was really cool for me. But also it's so magical because it's just so historic. When you're standing literally at the base of the White House, like this grounds tour, you're right outside, like we were right up against it, and you can't help but feel the weight of like all the years that have come before and all this history. So it was just really beautiful. And I think also being in the military world, Wesley being in the Army, there is an element of just like appreciation for those things that I think I've gained in this last year and a half of being Wesley's spouse in the Army. And I think that's why I also love learning about first ladies, because as a military spouse, I do feel the weight of like my responsibility in this world and in this community, that even though I'm not the service member, I do have such an ability to contribute to good and be like a support network, not only for my husband, but for other service members who don't have spouses or families nearby. And I just think I feel the weight of that. And I've met military spouses older than me who absolutely feel the weight of that, who have shown that to me in such a beautiful way. So I just recognize like the value of looking up to people in these positions, especially I think it's so cool to see these married couples who are so unified in these positions, and it's just really special. So I'm kind of rambling, but I really enjoyed it and it was so magical to me, and it really spoke to my heart and things that I'm learning this year about being a military spouse. Like I said, I loved seeing the little things that the first ladies have done. There was lots of things around the garden that would commemorate things that they had done in different communities that were commemorated through flowers or gardens. So all that to say, I wanted to like share with you some of the things we saw, some of the things that we got. I have my little White House bag here. I have all of our White House goodies in it. So I saved our little tickets like I showed you earlier. They gave us these White House Garden Tour pamphlets that shared about the things that we were seeing. So I honestly didn't really know what to expect going into it, but it was really kind of, you have your time slot. They're at every 30 minutes and you obviously go through like lots of security. Once you're inside, they give you this pamphlet which has all the information that like a tour guide would have given you. And then you just get to take your time and like mosey along the path through the whole gardens, through the whole back of the White House. Just get to like enjoy at your own pace. So that was really nice. Also, such a cool part of it. So the tour goes along the whole back of the gardens, and they had the Navy band playing beautiful music the entire time. So there was a live band playing just this beautiful classical music while we were walking through, like jazz, classical. And so they would play like some military songs, and they also played just like fun songs that we would enjoy listening to as like a live jazz band. And that made it just like breathtaking. Like it felt so just regal and beautiful to get to walk around the gardens to the sound of live jazz music from the Navy band. So I loved that element of it. Also, we saw they do every Christmas an annual bird count in the White House gardens, and last year they counted 150 different species. So they had all the birds listed out, and they were flying all around like beautiful mockingbirds, so many different birds. And so they were all singing, and there was beautiful bird song in the background of the Navy band playing. And it was just like so peaceful and breathtaking. I could have stayed in there all day long. So we went in and we saw the Navy band playing, and we kind of stood there right up against the White House just enjoying that for a little while. And then as you continue on, there's the Rose Garden in the West Wing. So the West Wing is kind of where the president works and where his staff is and everything. It's a pretty iconic area if you've seen like where the president will kind of walk in his balcony area. So we got to see in there, and they have the beautiful Rose Garden, which I think the Kennedys really like contributed to. So that was really beautiful to see. The roses were stunning, and there were just so many flowers everywhere. I mean, lavender and gardenia and dogwood trees blooming. It was breathtaking. So there were flowers everywhere. We got to see that, and then we got to see the Oval Office, which is obviously like in the West Wing, and that was really insane. Like you could see through the windows into the Oval Office, so that was really beautiful. And I can just imagine, like we were talking to some of the Secret Service that was standing outside of the Oval Office, and they were saying it really is beautiful for the president to get to walk around this area in the evenings. And I can just imagine like when no one else is there and you're getting to watch the sunset and hear the fountain going and listen to the bird song with all these beautiful flowers, like I can imagine that being the most peaceful place. And I told Leslie I would love to have a garden like that one day and just get to have beautiful trees around and flowers that are fragrant and a place to walk and sit and enjoy. That just would be like the most peaceful home I can imagine. So that was really cool to see. And there was also like a little play set right by there too, so I can imagine like grandkids or kids of the president getting to play there. So that was really sweet. We continue on. We got to see the beautiful fountain that's kind of iconic outside of the White House with all of the mums. They had planted mums like for autumn, so y'all know I love mums, so that was really cool. And there were just like ginormous mums coming out of beautiful pots, so I loved seeing that. And then one of my very favorite parts, we got to see the White House kitchen garden. So Michelle Obama, she did a lot for making America a healthier place, especially for kids, and so she planted a White House garden, and they've kept it going ever since the Obamas have left office. And it's just this most beautiful garden, like absolutely full of different peppers and kale and spinach and herbs. Like the rosemary was just huge. There was this massive archway of sweet peas where the sweet peas were blooming, and then also the little pods were coming down. Beautiful purple color. The chilies were coming off of this beautiful huge plant, and they had pumpkins around. It was so beautiful and fun to see. So I loved seeing that. Again, they had a little like table and bench to sit in the White House kitchen garden, and you could hear the band even from all that way away. But even without the band, like I can just imagine that would be such a peaceful place to sit, because the birds were singing and chirping so loud, and that was so beautiful. They also had a White House like beekeeping area where they have their own bees and make their own honey, and it's really to encourage the bees to pollinate the garden and continue to make it like a beautiful flourishing garden. And so the bees were like buzzing all around the different plants and flowers, and it just felt like so alive and fresh and healthy. So spending time in a garden like that with just gorgeous trees and flowers and birds is probably the most refreshing thing that I can do for myself, I think. Where we lived in Georgia was kind of similar to this climate of DC, where it's like a bit more humid, and so in Georgia it's a lot more humid than even this, but the trees were just so big there, and it was such a historic base, but like where we lived on base was so peaceful and calm and full of blooming trees and flowers, and there were baby deer that would live like in our backyard, and I loved it there. Me and my neighbor, who's my really good friend, who actually lives here now, who I'm going to visit, we would call our little backyard the meadow. I was so sad to leave that house because it sort of did that thing for me of having the chirping birds and the beautiful trees and flowers, and I just find it so refreshing. So it was such a beautiful thing to see, and I felt very honored to be in a place so historic to our country. So that was really special. And like I said, as a military family and a military spouse, I think we just really appreciated the element of family and care that went into it from the married couples in office, and especially the spouses. So I loved getting to see that. But yeah, like I said, this has kind of all the history of it. This is the Rose Garden where we saw on the West Wing. We also did see Marine One flying around, which is the president's helicopter, and we saw like where the landing pad is too, so that was really cool. And then yeah, there's the Jackie Kennedy Garden, which was really cool to see. The kitchen and cutting garden. I can imagine that it's really beautiful in the spring, and I would love to get to do that tour again if we ever got the chance in the spring. But I mean, seriously, that is something I'll always remember, and I really did not, I knew it was going to be really cool to see the White House in that way, but I did not expect it to be as magical and breathtaking and just impactful as it was. So I'm really, really thankful that we got to do that, and I hope y'all enjoyed getting to see that content and kind of come along with me. Wesley also got me a really special little thing to commemorate this. It came in this really pretty box, and it's this really special mug. It's white china, so it's like very nice, and it has Japanese cherry blossoms on it, which are a famous thing in DC. They bloom all around the National Mall and in the White House garden. Then this is the back of the White House where we were walking around, so the band was like playing up there, and then it has the front of the White House on the other side. It's just a special little mug to commemorate our time at the White House. I think it's really pretty, and I honestly think that that is going to be something that Wesley and I talk about for a while because it really impacted us. I think when Wesley gets back from his little meeting with his team, we're gonna go walk around and find just a casual place to get some dinner, maybe stop into a pub, or just like a little sweet place that's not too fancy or anything. And I think I'm gonna get comfy and get out of my dress. As much as I love wearing a dress, I think I'm gonna get comfy for the evening, be ready when Wesley comes back to go for a little walk and find somewhere nice to eat. See you in a little bit. wanted to give you a little update because I haven't gotten to talk to you since the race this morning, and it was so insane. But Wesley and the Fort Carson team won the whole 10-mile race. It was incredible. Wesley absolutely crushed it. He ran the 10-mile race in 54 minutes and 34 seconds, so that's about a 5-minute and 20-second pace. It was so amazing, so inspiring to see, and I'm just so proud of him. So it was a really beautiful morning, and then we went back to the hotel and rested for a second, and then we got some lunch / early dinner, and now we are out exploring the National Mall. So that's where all of the beautiful exhibits are that are like very famous to our nation, and so we're taking a little walk while the sun sets to see all of the monuments, and it's been so beautiful. So our first stop is the Jefferson Memorial, and it is honestly jaw-dropping. I'm so inspired and just encouraged getting to see all these things. So I'm going to take lots of videos for you and take you along with us, and then later on we'll have to do a full catch-up and debrief on our whole day because it's been so amazing. To get some coffee and go to a few more things for the Army 10-miler, but I wanted to show you my little dress. It's this maroon dress from ASOS that I love. I've showed it to y'all before, but it's one of my favorites, and we're gonna go grab some coffee now, so let's go. To you from outside of the public library. I decided to pause here and kind of take a second because I feel like I haven't gotten to chat to y'all in a little bit with everything we've had going on yesterday and this morning. It's such a beautiful day today. It feels a little bit chilly, a little bit crisp. It's a little bit loud because I'm kind of in the city center. This morning we went to a little convention for the Army, and it's where they meet with all of their like arms dealers and get to see the new products, and there's lots of generals and very important people in the military there, and it was so special to get to walk around. I felt so honored. It literally felt like something out of Iron Man. Like, it was really incredible. So that was really cool to get to see and be a part of. And then Wesley is still there because he's going to an award ceremony for the Army 10 Mile yesterday. So I mentioned this yesterday when I briefly chatted to y'all, but Wesley and the Fort Carson team actually won the Army 10 Mile race, which was such a huge deal and so incredible. They are being honored for that today. I can't be in the award ceremony, which is really sad, but I got to go with him to the first start of the convention. So that was really sweet, and yeah, I'm just so proud of him and honored to get to support him and be a part of it all. Yeah, now I'm going to go to one of my favorite little coffee shops and bakeries. It's called Tate, I think is how you say it, Tatte. We've been to this bakery a few times. It's a chain, but they have them in Boston and I think a few other places around New England. We've been there every time we've been to Boston because I love it so much. And we've been to Boston a few times because Wesley's run the Boston Marathon a couple of times, so it's been really fun to get to explore that city too. And Tate is one of the places that I love the most. And I know it's a chain, but it's such a special, beautiful coffee shop slash restaurant. And so there's one a few minutes walk from the convention center. So I'm gonna go hang out there for a little bit, get a cozy coffee and a beautiful little pastry, and just kind of enjoy the morning while Wesley finishes up at the convention. So we're on our own exploring DC, but I thought it would be fun to take y'all along with me. We can do this together, navigate the city. We're really in the city center now, and it feels more like a big bustling city than it has most of our time in DC because we've been kind of over by the water. I did want to show y'all, now that we're breaking away from the Army content, this is very Meg content. I wanted to show y'all my lip combo that I've been loving so much lately. It's pretty simple, not too expensive of products even, but I love them so much and I'm obsessed with this lip combo. So I wanted to show y'all because I want to reapply it really quick before we go to Tate. So I start with this little Clinique Chubby Stick. I love these little lipsticks. It's like a moisturizing lipstick, so it doesn't feel too harsh. But yeah, I really love these. This one is in the shade Chunkiest Chili, which is kind of not the cutest name for a lipstick, but it's number 2. So I start with this. So that's what it looks like, just a really pretty berry color. And then I love to put a lip gloss on top of it, and lately I've really been loving these lifter glosses from Maybelline. I think that these are a really good dupe from the Rihanna Beauty ones. I can't remember what that brand is called, but I think that these are a really good dupe for those lip glosses, and I have it in a couple of colors, but I've been really liking this color with this lipstick. So it's number 12 in the shade Opal, and I think it looks really pretty on top. Here we go. I feel like a lip gloss kind of mellows out a lipstick from feeling so harsh, and I always love a more kind of glossy, shimmery lip product. So that's my favorite lipstick lately. That's what I've been wearing. I don't know if I said this earlier, but this is my dress that I'm wearing today. I've showed this to y'all before, but this is seriously one of my new favorite dresses. It's from ASOS, and it's just this little berry colored puff sleeve dress. And then my little bag from Madewell. I love Madewell purses. This is kind of my Mary Poppins bag. I feel like it can fit so much. Oh my gosh. They gave me this at the convention. It's a little tank stress ball. And now it's time to set off to Tate and get a beautiful little pastry and a coffee. So let's go. such a nice day so far today. It's our last day in the wharf, so we've been making the most of it, and we got up this morning and did a really beautiful run around the National Mall together, and that was so fun. We got to like check off the last things that we hadn't seen. We saw the Botanical Garden, which was beautiful, and the Capitol, and it was just such a beautiful run. The trees here are so gorgeous. They're like all turning the fall colors, and they really remind me of the trees that I loved at our house in Georgia when we lived on Fort Moore. So that was really special to get to run under all of those massive oak trees and maple trees that are turning fall colors. So that was a really refreshing morning, and last night was really sweet too. We went to a beautiful restaurant called Les Diplomats, I think that's how you say it, and it was beautiful, a French restaurant, and we went with my best friend, my military spouse friend. It was really sweet to get to see her, and I'm actually going to be staying here a couple more days with my friend, but it's our last day here at the wharf with Wesley in our beautiful room, so I'm sad to leave it, but it's been so wonderful and we really made the most of it. This has been such a fun area of town to stay in, so I'd really recommend it if you're coming to Washington, D.C. anytime. And we're actually going to go get some lunch at a pub that we've been loving. I think it's called Kerwin's Pub, so it feels very like English, Scottish, lots of delicious foods. They have delicious pot pie and fish and chips, so we're craving that up again. We're gonna go back there one more time and just enjoy our last little moments around the wharf. Officially our last day in DC today. I'm so sad that this trip is coming to an end. It has been so sweet and refreshing and just a really special, lovely trip. So I really enjoyed it. I've loved exploring this historic city, and I also love New England towns, and DC has had way more of a New England feel than I was expecting it to, so it's just been a joy to be here, and I'm sad that it's coming to an end, but we have a really sweet day left today and we don't fly out till tomorrow, so we gotta stay in the moment and enjoy it today. I'm actually staying with my friend in Alexandria now, so Wesley has gone home to do his army things, but I'm staying an extra day to spend time with my friend. It's so fun to get to explore this part of town. So it's just across the Potomac in Virginia. It's not technically DC anymore. So many people who work around DC live in Alexandria, so it's very much still a part of things, and this is one of the oldest towns in all of America, so it has been beautiful to explore so far. Last night we went to King Street, and there were lights in all of the trees, and so many old buildings turned into restaurants. It was truly gorgeous. So we're gonna go back there today and soak that up, and then we're also going to go back to the Georgetown area today, which is back on the other side of the river in DC. It's where Georgetown University is, but it's such a cute area with another really beautiful street. I think M Street is the one that's known for all the cute shops and things there. So I showed y'all a little bit yesterday, but Wesley and I actually rode scooters there yesterday afternoon and got a coffee at a Tate in Georgetown, and that was really fun and beautiful. Lime scooters are honestly the move, like the way to see this city is with lime scooters. But Yeah, we went to the Georgetown area and it's so cute. The Tate over there is adorable. There's also a Maman, which is another really cute like coffee bakery chain that I love. But we're gonna go back and explore because Wesley and I were only over there for just a quick second yesterday before his flight. And the streets, there's so many beautiful brownstones that people have all decorated for Halloween / autumn. Like so many people went all out with pumpkins and mums and spooky things on their porches, which is just so cute. And I love that like everyone's festive. So we're gonna go back there today and spend some more time, and I'll definitely take you all along with me and show you around because it's so cute. I was sad to leave the hotel yesterday because we really did love that area, and the wharf, like being right on the water with all the boats and all those restaurants right there, was so nice. We really fell in love with a couple of restaurants there that we kept sort of going back to, so that was a really convenient way to have kind of a central location where we knew we had good restaurants around that we could kind of always get into and enjoy being by the water, but then we could still easily go out and explore. And it's super walkable to the National Mall, to the Spy Museum, the Smithsonian, like lots of museums and landmarks. So I would really recommend that hotel in that area. But yeah, today is a lot of like historic exploring around like the cute old towns, which is really where I thrive. So I'm so excited, and I'm excited to keep spending time with my really good friend. It's been so refreshing to be with her. So we have a cozy day ahead of us. But our first stop of the day is going to be to walk to a coffee shop and grab some cozy coffee. The weather has taken a turn for the freezing cold. Yesterday it just became absolutely frigid, and it's so cozy. I love the autumnal weather, but it's definitely not the same as the first days we got here when I was just wearing my sundress out and around. I'm like all bundled up now. So we're gonna walk in the chilly little crisp fall morning and get a coffee and see what the rest of the day holds. I got a spiced honey pear latte and it is so delicious.